Welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to discuss the next spine number 21 through 30 in the Criterion collection, and then to tell y'all which ones are my favorites. So spine number 21 is Dead Ringers by David Cronenberg. Spine number 22 is Summertime by David Lean. Spine number 23 is RoboCop by Paul Verhoeven. Spine number 24 is High and Low by Akira Kurosawa. Spine number 25 is Alphaville by Jean-Luc Godard. Spine number 26 by John Mackenzie is The Long Good Friday. Spine number 27 and 28 are both by Paul Morrissey. One is called Flesh for Frankenstein, and the next is called Blood for Dracula. And then the next film, spine number 29, is called Picnic at Hanging Rock. And then finally, spine number 30, which is a movie called M by Fritz Lang. So I wanted to give y'all a moment of my opinion about which ones of these I enjoyed the most and why. So if I had to put these down, I would select 5 of the 10 to talk about as being my favorites. The first of which is Dead Ringers. So essentially, this film was kind of, I don't know if it was ahead of its time per se, but to me it was. So it's it stars Jeremy Irons, who is a frequent collaborator with David Cronenberg, and he actually stars as twins. Jeremy Irons does. So he plays, they're two brothers, and they're both doctors, and they both end up like tricking their girlfriends, and they swap identities and do all of this kind of stuff. And this is really like, it pushes the boundaries of science fiction, but it's also creepy in that these two doctors, of course, if you're a doctor, you take the Hippocratic Oath, and this would be kind of symbolic in a dystopian time frame where somebody would maybe use their abilities against the grain. But I love this because it reminded me, the set decoration reminded me of the 80s. I mean, this was from 1988. And I don't know, it just kind of almost reminded me of Blade Runner, sort of like the interior set decoration. And some of the supplemental features go over how they created the twins, you know, with Jeremy Irons playing one part. It's like they use like a mirror and like this split screen kind of thing in film. I forgot what it's called right now, but anyway, they created both characters with one individual. It's pretty crazy. It's definitely worth a watch. I really enjoyed this one a lot, even though the subject matter is very against the grain, if you will. To follow along with that dystopian future, I chose RoboCop as one of my favorites. I'm sure there's probably a lot of people who have seen this. People may know Paul Verhoeven from other films like Showgirls, which, you know, it flopped in the box office, but later has become a cult classic. That's kind of the same thing with this, but except when this came out, this was marketed to kids. And if you watch this now as an adult, you're like, how in the world? But this deals with like a dystopian future where companies have like huge power and control over people, and you know, the cop himself gets killed, but then they turn him into a robot and bring him back to life, and then he goes on this justice mission to basically unsettle the society that he lives in. This was really cool because they have this robot called Ed 209 that it's just a massive work of destruction. So it's action packed, and again, it has that set design where everything is kind of Spartan looking, and very much 80s from what I remember whenever I was growing up. You know, the way that buildings were presented and interior design at the time was really neat. I like that a lot, if you can't tell. But this is definitely worth a look, but it's not for children. It's really, really violent. The next one on my list is by a fella named Akira Kurosawa. This is High and Low. So basically what this deals with is class differences, in that, you know, there's a person of means that had his kid kidnapped. From what I remember, somebody got kidnapped by mistake, and somebody has to go through and figure out like what happened and where this child is and all of this, and they get held up for a ransom. The way that they put this film is in black and white, but the way that they made this film, again, I don't know if I'm just a sucker for like interior shots and stuff, but like the house that they're in, like it's a rich person's home, and you can kind of see down on the valley near, like, into a train yard and all this kind of stuff. And there's some stuff that takes place on the train in an effort to help get the child back. It's really interesting, the journey that this movie takes you on. I highly recommend this one. And probably my very most favorite one is next. It's called Picnic in Hanging Rock, and y'all have heard me talk about this one before, I believe. But essentially what this is a period piece, and if you're not familiar with what a period piece is something where, like, this movie takes place at the turn of the century. So like right at 1900, there's a group of girls that go to an all-girls school, and they got dismissed for the day to go to a picnic at this place called Hanging Rock in Australia, and some of them didn't return. And what's cool, if you remember me talking about this before, was that there's a book that this movie is based off of. Again, it's a novel, so it's not truthful, but you know, the way that the novel is written, it says something like, whether or not everything in this novel happened, or whether or not everything in this novel happened or not is up to your own conclusion, but everybody in this novel is dead by now, so it doesn't matter anymore. But that's kind of like the hook that they use to get you into the story of what happens at Hanging Rock. So this is pretty cool because it's a nice mystery, and it has a really good soundtrack and really great cinematography for anyone who is into that sort of thing. Please watch this. This is very highly recommended from me. And then the final one is by a fella named Fritz Lang, who's kind of the forebearer to science fiction. He did a movie called Metropolis, which I also have. Unfortunately, it's not in the Criterion collection, but Metropolis kind of led me to this one. So this is M by Fritz Lang, and basically what this is essentially about is that there is a person who has committed murder, and the entire town ends up being after this one fella that's committed this murder. So the circuitous route that this takes you is pretty amazing. This almost is like a procedural, like a CSI kind of thing, sort of. This is actually a forebear to kind of modern whodunits. So, you know, this is pretty amazing for something that came out in the 30s. I would definitely recommend this. So again, you know, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you get something out of this video. And if you do, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll do my best to comment back and respond back to any comments that I get. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll go over the next 10. Have a great day. Thank you.